Greetings YouTube, once again, this is Fragments of Memory. Now, I checked on the video of a woman by the name of Hairnailsbeautytips. I guess she's a Christian woman, and usually some of her Christian things I don't agree with, but she woke, according to her video, she had seen this other video that she found so detestable and offensive that she ended up linking it, and then she says, be careful of what your children watch. Be careful of what they get into their brains, because the moment that they look at that stuff, that's locked into their mind forever. And they're going to somehow have those things in their minds. So I went to the video, and it was a group by the name of Die Anterwood, I think. Die Anterwood. It's a South African group. They call themselves, it's a Zef style sort of music, which I did a little research on Zef, which I find very interesting. Apparently Zef just means something that is common, that is sort of discarded, and that's sort of the style that they are. They're kind of the discarded, but yet poor, yet stylish, I guess. That's the best way. You could be poor, but wearing gold and rims or something like that. I think that's how they described it. Well, anyway, I watched this video, and it was called Evil Boy, and it was this disturbing scenes, just this panoramic, I won't even say panoramic, this just phantasmagoria of horror. I mean, this was babies holding penises and just all these phallic symbols and rats. I even think one section, a woman handcuffs a man to a bed and draws a pentagram on his chest. And the lyrics were just so horrible, and I'm just like, I felt that my senses were just assaulted by the music, by the sound, by even the video. I mean, it was the most offensive thing I had not seen. I mean, the most offensive thing I had seen. I was just like, oh my goodness. So when I thought about her video, and she talked about how, the Christian belief of we're in the last days, the whole revelation, end of days, eschatology, I had to at least agree with her at that point, that here she is, saying, look, this is the sign of the end times. And I would have to roll with her on this one, because I do feel that many of our traditions, we don't have a tradition, we don't have a foundation anymore. We don't have a moral structure anymore. Everyone is embracing moral relativism, which isn't working. Every culture, no matter what your belief is, every culture knows that there is an absolute good. Like, good isn't relative from one culture to another. Every culture agrees that there is an absolute good. Now, how that good is carried out, that might be a different story. But the one thing I did admire about her was the fact that she says, hey, watch what your children are watching. Take the televisions out of their rooms. Monitor what they do, because I agree. I remember growing up, my mother didn't even let me watch Married with Children. You know, the show with Al Bundy, put his hands in his pants like that and do that. And there was a lot of breast jokes, a lot of sex jokes, a lot of just vulgar humor for that day. And my mother never let us watch Married with Children. And I remember that show was very popular. And every time, as soon as the opening note for the theme song to Married with Children came on, my mother changed the channel. My mother didn't let me watch certain things on television. Now, I'm not saying I was this perfect angelic kid, and I probably saw some things I shouldn't have when I was about 13 and 14. But nothing like this. This is something I was just like, oh my goodness. And it just made me wonder, who is watching this? Who finds this entertaining? And why would somebody let a little kid see this? But then it's no different than letting them see the new Gucci Man video, or letting them see the Soldier Boy Pretty Boy Swag video. I mean, to me, it's no different. The only difference is that this is this view of horrors, and here, to me, this is just like, the little booty girls in the videos. Now, if you're 21 and over, that's your business, and that's on you when you face God on the day of judgment. But the little kid, he's impressionable. That's in their psyche. The mind is malleable at that time. So now you're going to expose them to such that sort of work and think it's art. So on this one, hair, nails, and beauty tips, you right on the money. I have to give you your props on this because that was just foul. I was disturbed. I think I had to like get some old school classical music or some old school R&B just to get my mind off of that other stuff. You know, so we need to be careful what we take into ourselves, what we take into our minds, what we take into our eyes, what we even take into our, not just only what we eat, but what we see and what we listen to and what we constantly dwell on. So I'm gonna at least have to concede to that, Miss Hair, Nails, and Beauty Tips. You at least, it amazed me because there was something that I saw that shocked me. I was walking, and this is right around the time Fantasia came out with her first album, and it was a song on it called Baby Mama. And in that song, she's singing about the trials of being a single mother. And I remember this little child is going, a little child, she looked, I was walking through the parking lot one night. It was at our supermarket, the supermarket Schnucks here in the Midwest. And anyway, I'm walking through the Schnucks parking lot about to go down to the Blockbuster Video to rent a video. And I remember this young girl going, "This go out to all my baby mamas." And she looked about between the ages of 2 and 4. And now, mind you, she's singing this song that is obviously too old for her, but she knew the chorus, she knew it well. Matter of fact, I remember growing up and teachers used to always say, y'all know all the lyrics to the rap songs, but y'all can't deal with math. You can't do this math problem. You can't read this book. But you can sure enough rattle off the lyrics to some offensive rap song. So I think that's deep. I think that's just deep, that children can be educated, but children choose to fill themselves up with the wrong things. They can't read, but they can rattle off the lyrics to some new song. So I'm just like, but we sit up here talking about how we're free in America. Personally, I don't think we're free. I think we're in a bunch of bondage, and advertising and the media and the music industry contributes to our bondage and dumbing us down further and further. So that's my 2 cents on it. But thank you for listening. Comment if you like, comment if you don't, just so we can get a little feedback going on here. Well, peace and blessings go with everybody. And thank you for tuning in. Peace.